Hi guys, it's Alli. In today's video I have my Zoya classics and neutrals. These are just some classic and neutral shades that I thought I would show you, some classic and neutral creams that I thought I would show you. Some of these were requests, some of them were not. They were just some creams that I thought you might want to see. I won't waste a lot of time in the intro since I told you all about what I'm doing in yesterday's video, and if you missed that, there'll be a link in the description box for you. I would go watch that one before this one. Just my advice. But yeah, so let's jump into my Zoya classics and neutrals. So just FYI, today's video and tomorrow's video will be much better than yesterday's because the polishes get a lot better. So the first one we have is called Margo. Margo is a very beautiful purple leaning wine shade. Is that right? Yes, it's a purpley wine shade. It is just slightly streaky on the first coat, but completely opaque in two, and that was both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. This just glides on the nails without any issues. It's just beautiful, perfect. This one was a request from Instagram, I believe, and yes, gorgeous polish, gorgeous formula, no issues. And again, that's Margo. Next up we have Toni. I purchased Toni because Debbie Bond, funny enough I keep referencing her, but she was the one who put this in a Zoya, her Black Friday haul I think is what she got this from her Black Friday haul, I want to say, and when I saw it I was like, I need that, so I did get it. This one is kind of a muted oxblood shade, a definite dusty component to it, which I love anything with gray in it, so you know I like this one a lot. This one I liked even more because it was almost opaque in one coat for me, just a little bit sheer in some spots on one, and it did get completely opaque for me in two. I used two coats both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture, but it was just so easy breezy. And again, that's Toni. Next up we have Pepper. Pepper is kind of what I just call a Dr. Pepper shade. It just looks like the Dr. Pepper red, if you have seen that drink. If not, just Google it. And it, for better reference, it's kind of like a chili red. It's beautiful. So this one was just a little bit streaky on the first coat, and it did get completely opaque for me in two, much like Margo and Toni, just a very easy formula. I did mention this, I think, in my underrated polish video back last fall as a polish that I absolutely love. It is the perfect fall shade. It really is. So yes, again, that is Pepper, and I love it. Alright, and next up we have Coco. I mentioned Coco in my Black Friday haul, I believe. I could not believe how beautiful this polish was. To me, this is just a standout, drop-dead gorgeous polish. It's kind of like a dusty, a really dusty rose shade. My mom loves this. I think she's gonna steal it from me or I'll gift it to her, either way. But this one is almost opaque in one coat. It is a 1 to 2 coater. In the live swatch I used 1 or 2 coats on the nails, just depending on my application, and I did the same in my swatch picture, but you can get this opaque in one coat with kind of like a normal coat and being very careful not to create streaks. Yes, you can get this opaque in one. And it's just an easy formula to work with. It just glides on the nails, and I'm a huge fan of this one. So again, that's Coco. So next up we have Noah. Noah is kind of a warm toned tan shade. The sister polish is Misty. Misty came out in the Whispers collection last transition to spring. And I like this one a lot better. Misty is the cool toned version of this, and to me, not to be disrespectful or anything, but Misty is like the picture of death to me. Like when I see it, it just looks so gray and lifeless. So I do prefer Noah to Misty. Misty is still a beautiful polish, but I like the warmth and kind of pop that this one has a little bit more. Anyway, I'm rambling. This one only needs 1 coat. I did review this as part of the Urban Grunge collection. I reviewed it late summer last year, 2016, for the fall. And yes, it just took me 1 coat then, took me 1 coat now, 1 coat both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. So this is a true 1 coater, and all of you neutral and nude lovers will love this one. And again, that's Noah. And next up we have Eastyn. Eastyn I talked about in my top 10 of 2016. I believe I should have if I didn't, because this one is probably one of my favorite polishes ever. This is a muted purple. It's just an extremely grayed out purple. It's so beautiful. I just adore this polish so much. I can't get enough of it. So this one has a thicker formula. It is opaque for me at this point in one coat. I can't remember if this one took 2 coats when I first purchased it or if it was one out of the, like, fresh out of the bottle. But I would say it's between 1 and 2 coats when you first buy it. But definitely thickens up to being just a solid 1 coater over time. So yes, again, that's Eastyn. And next we have Dove. Dove is just that, it's just Dove Gray, which is kind of like a light gray, just past like a heather kind of shade. Oh, this one's so beautiful too. Of course, I love grays, so what can I say? I just love them. So anyway, this one has a thicker formula over time. Mine is thickened up probably more than it is out of the bottle. I mean, fresh out of the bottle when you first buy it. I think it might take you 2 coats when you first get it. This is between 1 and 2 coats anyway. Like for me now, even though it's thickened up a little bit, it's still in between 1 and 2 coats. It just depends on my application. In my live swatch, on maybe one nail I needed 1 and the other ones I needed 2, or vice versa. And my swatch picture I went ahead and did 2, but it just depends on your application and how long you've had it. At any rate, whether it's 1 or 2 coats, it's easy coats. It doesn't take a whole lot of work or anything. So I really like this one. And again, that's Dove. And next up we have August. I also reviewed August in the Urban Grunge collection. This one is another 1 coater. I used 1 coat in my live swatch. I did use 2 in my swatch picture because I had gotten some streaks in the first coat when I was taking my pictures. So 1 to 2 coater depending on your application. I did not describe it, did I? This one is just slightly past Dove. It's like a mid-toned gray. It's so beautiful. I love this one as well. Probably like Dove a little bit more, but I love both. I love my grays, so as you can tell, it's pretty much all I wear. But yes, again, that's August. Next up we have Genevieve. Genevieve is just approaching a charcoal gray. With a lot of blue in there, so it can look a little bit blue, which I love the nuance of that combo. I think it's really pretty. This one had a thinner formula. It was a little bit streaky on the first coat, but got completely opaque for me in 2. After 1, I was like, really? Because I've never worn this one before. I just watched it. But after 1, I was like, really? Like, this is too pigmented. This should be pigmented enough to not be this sheer. But the second coat did take care of all those issues. It was completely opaque in 2, both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. And again, that's Genevieve. Alright, and the last polish in today's video is going to be Saillor. Saillor is just a dusty navy blue. I mentioned this one in my overrated nail polish video when I was talking about Essie's After School Boy Blazer, which is supposed to be like a really, really dark blue, but it just looks black in a lot of lights. In terms of a nice dusty blue, I really like Saillor. It's one of my favorites. I use this all the time when I do a dotted cure with Zoya's blue, which will be in tomorrow's video. I love that combination. Anyway, so this one for me is just a gorgeous, gorgeous polish. It takes me 1 coat, 1 to 2 coats depending on your application, but just 1 coat, both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. And this one has thickened up over time as well. I believe it was a solid 2 coater when I first opened it. But one thing I like sharing with you is that these can get thicker and become, you know, really, really good polishes to be like 1 or 2 coats, depending on where it started. So again, that's Saillor. So thank you guys for watching the second part of my Zoya recommendations video. So again, these were the classics and neutrals. In tomorrow's video, we're going to be looking at the blues and the greens, which is going to be my favorite part. I will try not to ramble too much in that video. My lips and my nails stayed the same as yesterday because I'm recording these videos all on the same day. Fearlessly Alice on my nails and Sugarberry Crumble by Jordana on my lips. And yeah, so that's all I have for you in today's video. I will see you guys in tomorrow, and if you had any questions about any of these polishes, just leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to be checking them out so I can answer your questions. So I will just see you guys in tomorrow's video.